Every 11 seconds, an older adult is rushed to the emergency room because of a fall, and most of those accidents happen during ordinary movements at home. In this video, you'll discover 5 little-known exercises that do far more for your stability, strength, and long-term independence than simply walking. These moves don't require a gym, but they retrain your reflexes, protect your joints, and even activate parts of your brain that decline with age. By the end, you'll know exactly how to safeguard your body and mind with a routine that fits into everyday life. And don't click away. The last exercise is so powerful for brain health that neurologists are testing it as a non-drug therapy for memory loss. I'm Dr. Eli Morgan, a physician who has spent over 3 decades helping older adults stay strong, steady, and independent. My goal here is to give you practical, science-backed tools so you can keep living life on your own terms. Exercise number 1, wall push-up with hold. Most people think push-ups are only for young athletes, but one of the safest and most effective ways to prevent falls as you age is actually the wall push-up with a hold. Why? Because when you trip or stumble, your body doesn't just rely on your legs. It's your arms and chest that shoot out first to catch you. Weak upper body muscles often mean slow, shaky reactions, which is why seniors with frail arms are far more likely to land hard and break a hip. A 2022 study from the University of Sydney found that older adults who practiced upper body strength drills twice a week were 38% less likely to suffer serious injuries from a fall. Think about that. Stronger arms aren't just about vanity. They're literally your frontline defense system. Here's how to do it. Stand about an arm's length away from a sturdy wall. Place your palms flat at shoulder height. Bend your elbows slowly, taking 2 full seconds to lean your chest toward the wall. Hold that position against the wall for 3 to 5 seconds. This is where your muscles build stability. Then push yourself back to the starting position over another 2 seconds. That one pause in the middle is where the magic happens. By resisting gravity for a few seconds, you train your body to stay steady instead of collapsing. Aim for 8 to 12 repetitions. Rest and repeat for 2 to 3 sets. If it feels easy, step your feet a little farther back from the wall or eventually progress to placing your hands on a countertop. And here's the bigger picture. Wall push-ups aren't just about arms and chest. They sharpen the exact reaction time you need when you reach out to grab a railing, push yourself out of a chair, or stop a fall mid-step. Do this consistently, and you'll notice daily tasks, from carrying groceries to opening heavy doors, become easier and safer. Now, while the upper body is your emergency brake, the legs are your engine. And the next exercise might surprise you because you can do it while sitting down, yet it directly predicts how long and how well you'll live. Exercise number 2, seated leg lifts with resistance. Walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of how long you'll stay healthy. Some doctors even call it the 6th vital sign. But what many don't realize is that the key muscle group controlling your walking speed is right in front of your thighs, the quadriceps. And the simplest way to strengthen them is through seated leg lifts. Why does this matter so much? A large-scale 2021 study published in the Journal of Gerontology followed nearly 2,400 adults over the age of 60 and found that those with stronger quadriceps lived longer, had fewer hospitalizations, and maintained independence much later in life. Every second you shave off your walking pace lowers your risk of disability and early death. That's powerful motivation for a movement you can do while sitting in a chair. Here's how to perform it. Sit tall on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Slowly straighten one leg in front of you, lifting until your knee is almost locked. Hold the top position for 2 to 3 seconds, then lower down with control. Switch legs and repeat. Aim for 10 to 15 reps per side. When this gets too easy, Add a resistance band around your ankles or strap small weights to your shins. The controlled lift against resistance is what trains the quads and hip flexors to stay strong. If you want a progression roadmap, weeks 1 to 2. Body weight only, 2 sets per leg. Weeks 3 to 4. Add resistance bands or light ankle weights, week 5 and beyond. Increase the hold at the top to 5 seconds or try lifting both legs simultaneously for a greater challenge. What's special here is that seated lifts don't just build strength, they directly influence how efficiently your nervous system coordinates walking. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that seniors who improve leg strength in this way also see faster reaction times, more stable stride length, and a noticeable boost in balance confidence. Think of it like this: stronger quads equal faster, safer walking, which means fewer stumbles when crossing the street, climbing stairs, or stepping off a curb. And since you can do this exercise while watching TV, it eliminates the excuse of "I don't have time to exercise." Remember, losing walking speed is often the first visible sign of aging, but it's also one of the easiest to reverse if you know the right drills. And that brings us to exercise number 3, which targets the muscle group researchers call the second heart of your body. Because without it, blood can't flow properly, balance falters, and your independence slips away. Exercise number 3, standing heel raises with balance challenge. If you could only choose one muscle group to keep strong as you age, it might surprise you. It's your calves. Doctors sometimes call them the second heart because every time they contract, they pump blood upward against gravity, keeping circulation healthy and reducing swelling in the legs. But their role in balance is even more critical. Weak calves are one of the main reasons seniors can't catch themselves when they trip. In fact, a 2020 European cohort study found that calf strength directly predicted whether older adults could live independently or required assisted care. Simply put, strong calves often mean the difference between walking on your own or needing support. Here's how to build them safely. Stand tall with your feet hip-width apart, near a wall or chair for support. Rise up slowly onto the balls of your feet, taking 2 full seconds to lift. Hold the top position for 2 to 3 seconds to really fire the muscles. Lower down slowly, again over 2 seconds. That's 1 rep. Aim for 12 to 15 repetitions. Rest, then repeat for 2 to 3 sets. Once you feel steady, progress by doing the exercise on one leg at a time, adding a backpack with light weight, or increasing the hold at the top to 5 seconds. And here's the next level. Try varying the tempo. Quick, explosive rises train your fast twitch fibers, the very fibers responsible for rapid balance corrections when you stumble. Slow, controlled holds train endurance, giving you stability during daily activities like standing in line or walking long distances. Another hidden benefit, heel raises strengthen the Achilles tendon, which often weakens with age. A resilient Achilles reduces the risk of sudden ankle injuries and keeps your stride more powerful. Daily life translation: carrying groceries, climbing stairs, or simply walking across uneven ground becomes safer and less tiring. You'll notice your posture feels taller too, because strong calves naturally encourage better alignment up the chain, hips, spine, even shoulders. This single move may look simple, but it has ripple effects across your entire body. Better circulation, stronger reactions, and more confident walking. Now, we've built your upper body brakes and your walking engine. With exercise number 2 and number 3 in place, you're halfway to a body that resists both falls and fatigue. But the next exercise climbs even higher in importance because it determines whether you can keep standing up from a chair without anyone's help. And that ability alone predicts independence better than almost any other test. Exercise number 4. Modified squat to chair. There's one everyday movement that quietly predicts how long you'll be able to live on your own. Getting up from a chair. If you struggle to rise without pushing on your arms, that's more than just muscle weakness. It's a warning sign. Researchers from Brazil tracked over 2,000 older adults for 6 years and found something startling. Those who could sit down and stand up without using their hands had significantly lower mortality rates. In other words, the humble squat to chair test is one of the most powerful predictors of survival and independence. Why? Because this movement demands strength from your thighs, hips, and glutes, the largest muscles in your body, and while also challenging balance and joint control. If these systems weaken, everyday activities like standing from the toilet, rising from bed, or climbing stairs suddenly become risky. Here's how to practice it safely. Begin sitting on a sturdy chair with your feet flat, hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest to avoid pushing off with your hands. Lean slightly forward, then drive through your heels to stand tall. Sit back down slowly under control, resisting gravity all the way. That's 1 rep. Start with 8 to 10. Rest, then repeat for 2 to 3 sets. If you need to make it easier, place a cushion on the chair to raise the seat height, or use a sturdy rail for partial support. As you get stronger, progress by using a lower chair or bench, holding light weights at your chest, increasing repetitions up to 15%. And don't worry about your knees. A massive meta-analysis published in Arthritis Care and Research confirmed that squats, when performed with good form, do not damage knee cartilage. In fact, they improve function and reduce pain in most adults. This exercise isn't just about building muscle, it's about preserving dignity. The ability to rise unaided is often what decides whether someone can remain at home or must move to assisted living. Each rep is an investment in your freedom. Think of it like a battery recharge. Every time you squat and stand, you're training the muscles that power nearly every daily task. It's not flashy, but it's foundational. And speaking of foundations, the number one exercise we'll cover next doesn't just strengthen your body. It actually stimulates your brain, reshaping the very networks that control memory, coordination, and balance. This final movement is where physical health and cognitive vitality meet. Exercise number 5, bird dog hold progressions. If there's one exercise that ties everything together in balance, strength, and even brain health, it's the bird dog. At first glance, it looks simple. Kneeling on hands and knees, extending opposite arm and leg. But beneath that simplicity lies one of the most powerful tools for healthy aging. Why? Because the bird dog trains what doctors call cross-body coordination, the ability of your brain to control opposite sides of the body in harmony. Every time you extend your right arm and left leg, you're strengthening the communication between both hemispheres of your brain through a structure called the corpus callosum. And that connection is critical for preventing falls, maintaining memory, and in preserving sharp thinking. Recent work from neuroscientists at the University of British Columbia found that older adults who practice cross-lateral exercises like bird dogs 3 times a week improved memory recall and reaction times just as much as participants in structured brain training programs. That means you can literally exercise your way to a younger brain. But the benefits don't stop at cognition. The bird dog also strengthens your spinal stabilizers, the deep core muscles that protect your back from strain. Many cases of chronic back pain come from these tiny stabilizers shutting down. When you retrain them, posture improves, pain reduces, and confidence in movement skyrockets. Here's how to perform it. Start on all fours, hands directly under shoulders and knees under hips. Brace your core as if preparing to cough. Slowly extend your right arm forward while extending your left leg back, keeping hips and shoulders square. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds, then return with control. Switch sides and repeat. That's 1 rep per side. Aim for 8 to 10 reps each. 2 to 3 sets. Now for the progressions that make this exercise truly transformative. Extended holds. Increase the hold to 10 seconds per rep. This builds endurance in your core and teaches your brain to stay stable under pressure. Pulse variations. While holding, lift the arm and leg 1 inch higher and lower for 3 to 5 mini pulses. This trains fine motor control. Eyes closed. Once stable, try closing your eyes during the hold. Removing visual input forces your inner ear and proprioceptors to work harder, massively boosting balance systems. Breathing integration. Exhale slowly during the hold, drawing the belly button in. This activates deep abdominal muscles that are otherwise hard to reach. Each of these tweaks makes the bird dog more than just a strength drill. It becomes a neurological training tool. And here's the brain bonus. Functional MRI scans show that cross-lateral movements increase activity in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory formation. That's why rehabilitation clinics are now teaching the bird dog to patients in the early stages of dementia. It's movement as medicine. Another underappreciated benefit, bird dogs protect your walking pattern. When you walk, your arms and legs naturally swing in opposition. The same cross-lateral pattern trained here. Practicing bird dogs makes your gait smoother, steadier, and less prone to hesitation, which is a common trigger for falls. Think of a real-world scenario. Standing up in the middle of the night, disoriented and walking to the bathroom. A body trained with bird dogs is far more likely to stay steady, avoid missteps, and get back to bed safely. Let's talk time commitment. Just 5 minutes of bird dogs, 3 to 4 days per week, can deliver improvements in balance and cognitive function within 8 weeks, according to clinical trials in older adults. That's a tiny investment for such a massive return. For advanced trainees, add light ankle and wrist weights. Extend both arm and legs slightly outward instead of straight, increasing coordination demands. Transition into a moving bird dog, crawling forward slowly while keeping core tension. But remember, quality beats quantity. Perfect form, steady breathing, and controlled holds matter more than cranking out reps. Here's the emotional core. The bird dog isn't just about preventing falls. It's about preserving your identity. Falls can steal independence. Memory loss can steal connection. But one simple exercise works on both fronts at the same time. It helps keep you physically upright and mentally sharp. So if you only take away one movement from today, make it this one. It's the closest thing science has found to a natural prescription for resilience, body and mind together. Now that you've seen all 5, let's wrap them into a practical routine. I'll show you how to combine them into just 20 minutes a few times per week and explain why this beats walking alone. Closing. Your weekly blueprint. You've now seen the 5 movements that outperform walking when it comes to staying upright, independent, and sharp. The big question is, how do you actually use them? Here's a simple weekly blueprint. Wall push-ups with hold 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Seated leg lifts with resistance, 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps per side. Standing heel, raises, 2 to 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Modified squat to chair, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Bird dog progressions, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side. Do this routine just 3 to 4 times per week. Each session will take about 20 to 25 minutes. Less time than most people spend scrolling their phone. And yet the payoff is enormous. Steadier walking, faster reflexes, stronger joints, and even sharper memory. Remember, improvement isn't limited by age. Studies have shown meaningful gains in balance and strength in people well into their 90s. It's never too late to start. So picture this. 10 years from now, You're still shopping on your own, still playing with your grandchildren, still living life on your terms. That future begins with the small decision to practice these 5 exercises today. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these daily activities is hardest for you right now? Standing up, climbing stairs, or balancing on one foot? How many minutes per week are you currently dedicating to exercise? And which of the 5 movements are you most excited to try first? Drop your answers in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else to take the first step. Thanks for watching. And remember, strength and independence are built, not inherited. Start building yours today.